Mr. Archer, what do you intend to tell the committee today?
Last week, Hunter Biden's plea deal on tax and felony gun charges collapsed. Today, his former business partner Devon Archer testified behind closed doors to the House Oversight Committee about the president's ties to his son's foreign business dealings.
The witness was very, very consistent that none of those conversations ever had to do with any business dealings or transactions. They were purely what he called casual conversations.
Doesn't that contradict the president's statement saying that he never talked to any of Hunter Biden's business associates? Clearly he talked, whether it's about the weather or whatever, but he said specifically that he's never talked to them. Doesn't this contradict them?
I don't know what his comment is, and if we're gonna, well, I don't think that's what he said.
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
For years, that's been Joe Biden's response regarding the extent of his involvement. But last week, the White House line changed.
The president was never in business with his son.
A change that likely reflects recognition of the growing evidence that contradicts Mr. Biden's earlier statements, including this one.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about what are you talking about? China.
Devon Archer worked with Hunter Biden on the board of Ukrainian gas giant Burisma. But before he'd even given testimony,
let me get to this breaking news I have in my hand.
Maria Bartiromo, speaking on Sunday Morning Futures, reported on a letter that had been sent from the Department of Justice to the Southern District of New York.
The letter from the Department of Justice is trying to nudge the judge to go ahead and sentence Devon Archer for something unrelated to what we're going to be talking to him about tomorrow. It's odd that it was issued on a Saturday, and it's odd that it's right before he's scheduled to come in to have an opportunity to speak in front of the House Oversight Committee and tell the American people the truth about what really went on with Burisma.
Following the meeting with Mr. Archer, Daniel Goldman suggested that Mr. Biden may have unknowingly spoken with some of his son's business associates.
He never said that he has never spoken to anyone. He said that he had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings. If he says hello to someone that he sees his son with, is he supposed to say, "Hi, son"? Oh, no, I'm not going to say hello to the other people at the table or the other people on the phone. It's kind of a preposterous premise to think that a father should not say hello to people that the son is at dinner with, and that is literally all the evidence is.
You know, you have now an account of these meetings talking about getting rid of Victor Shokin, the prosecutor, and calls being made to the vice president at that time, Joe Biden. You have an account of over 20 such calls.
The witness, Mr. Archer, was very clear that Hunter spoke to his father every day. And he indicated that he approximated about 20 times over the course of his 10-year business relationship that he had with Mr. Biden, with Hunter Biden, which would be about twice a year, that Hunter would put his father on speakerphone with whomever was at dinner, and there was no indication that he had any idea who was at dinner with them. It was just a say, "Hello, I'm at dinner here," and there was nothing related to his business dealings.
On Friday, Joe Biden made light of the escalating scandal surrounding his son Hunter.
Now that inflation is coming down, maybe they'll decide to impeach me because it's coming down. I don't know. I love that one. Oh, anyway, it's another story.
Before Mr. Archer had even spoken to the House Oversight Committee, Mr. Trump, speaking in Pennsylvania over the weekend, was already threatening colleagues not backing some Republican calls for an impeachment inquiry into Mr. Biden.
Any Republican that doesn't act on Democrat fraud should be immediately primaried and get out.
Speaking last week, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy clarified the GOP's position.
I didn't say I was doing impeachment inquiry. I said if they didn't provide us the information that could rise to impeachment inquiry.
Mr. Archer's testimony may have just moved the ball.
There is not a shred of evidence of a single conflict of interest of President Biden ever doing anything in connection or in relation to Hunter Biden's business ventures other than advocating for the removal of a prosecutor general who was advantageous to Burisma.